15 years ago feels like a lifetime, but there are nights when I can still smell the disinfectant of those high-school hallways, the way it mixed with sweat and metal and the faint mildew from old gym towels. We were stupid kids and reckless. Cruel in the way that only bored teenagers can be. Ethan Cole was the kind of classmate everyone ignored. Thin, pale, always hunched over a sketchbook that looked older than him. He never looked anyone in the eye. He just drew things that made the rest of us uncomfortable faces without mouths. Doors with hands reaching through the cracks. And a locker. Always the same locker. #312. I remember laughing the first time I saw that drawing. I remember saying something awful like, "Guess he's already planning where he wants to live." The others, Ryan, Marcus, and Dylan, laughed too. That laughter is what haunts me now, because it was the last sound Ethan ever heard from us. We locked a classmate in a locker 15 years ago. Yestback is not just a story. It's a confession I've carried in silence for more than half my life. It happened on a Friday in late October, the kind of gray afternoon where the clouds hang too low and every sound feels damp. Gym class had ended. The coach had left early, and we lingered in the locker room, tossing dirty towels and talking about nothing. Ethan was at his locker, trying to leave, and that's when Ryan said, "Hey, let's help him move into his new home." The joke was cruel, but it felt harmless in that brainless, teenage way. We grabbed him. He barely fought. I still feel how light he was, how cold his wrist felt when I pushed him. We shoved him into locker 312, the old one near the back, that jammed if he slammed it too hard. The door clanged shut, and the hallway went silent. At first, there was nothing, just our laughter echoing. Then a dull, rhythmic banging, slow, patient, desperate. "Let me out," he whispered. The sound was muffled by metal, but I can still hear it clearly in my head. We walked Hawaii. I told myself it was fine, that he'd be found when the janitor made his rounds. But when I came back that evening, guilt tugging at me like a leash, the locker stood open. Empty. The air around it was heavy and wrong, like the entire hallway was holding its breath. On the floor lay Ethan's sketchbook, flipped open to a new drawing. 4 stick figures standing around a locker dripping with something dark. Beneath it were the words, written in shaky pencil, "Don't forget me." I remember shoving the notebook into my bag, but when I looked again, it was gone. Life moved on, or so I pretended. We graduated. I went to college, found a job, bought a house. The others scattered. Ryan opened a car dealership. Marcus worked construction. Dylan moved overseas. None of us talked about Ethan again. But 2 weeks ago, I received an email from an address that looked like random letters and numbers. No subject line, just a video attachment. Against my better judgment, I clicked. The screen showed a dark hallway, lit only by the flicker of a single bulb. The camera panned slowly until it stopped on an old metal locker. Number 312. Then came the sound 3, faint knocks from inside, and a whisper, barely audible. Still waiting. I deleted it instantly, heart hammering. Within hours, Ryan called. His voice was shaking. He'd gotten the same email. He told me he was going back to the school that night, just to check. I tried to stop him, but he hung up. The next morning, police found his car idling in front of the abandoned high school. The driver's door was open, engine running, headlights pointed at the building. Inside, written on the fogged windshield, were 2 words, Locker 312. Idozi. They never found Ryan. His phone was still on the seat. The last photo he'd taken showing a shadow shaped like a man standing at the end of the hallway. When I enlarged it, I could see something else, 4 faint handprints smearing down the inside of a locker door, as if someone had been clawing to get out. Last night, I couldn't take it anymore. I drove to the old school myself, even though every rational part of me screamed to stay away. The building was fenced off, its windows boarded, yet the front doors were unlocked as if someone had been expecting me. The air inside was stale, thick with mold and rust. My footsteps echoed endlessly. As I walked past the empty classrooms, I swore I heard faint breathing behind me, the kind that matches your own rhythm until it doesn't. When I reached the gym corridor, the smell of metal and dust hit me so hard I almost gagged. The locker was there. Same dents, same faded number. Someone or something had carved names into the metal. Mine, Ryan's, Marcus's, Dylan's. Only one name wasn't crossed out. Mine. I lifted my phone to take a picture, but the camera wouldn't focus. The flashlight flickered, then died. The darkness felt alive. From somewhere behind the locker door came a scraping sound, like nails on the inside of metal. 3 slow knocks. Let me out. A voice whispered no. My voice whispered. The air turned freezing, my breath visible. The locker door began to bulge outward, as if something inside was pressing from within. Then I saw a gray, emaciated hand slip through the slat and curl toward me. I ran. The hallway seemed longer than before, stretching endlessly. The exit always just a little farther. Every door I passed rattled as if something inside wanted to follow. I made it to the parking lot, gasping, and when I looked back, the school lights flickered once before going dark. But as I turned to get into my car, there, in the rearview mirror, stood Ethan smiling, holding his sketchbook. That was 2 nights ago. I haven't slept since. My walls creak at night. My phone rings with static at 3:12 a.m., and when I open my eyes, I sometimes see the faint outline of a locker door at the foot of my bed. Yesterday, Marcus texted me a single word before his number went dead. Help. They found him this morning, trapped in a storage unit that had somehow locked from the inside. The cops said it looked like he'd been clawing at the metal walls. Dylan's plane went missing over the Atlantic a few hours later. Now it's just me, sitting here, telling you everything because I can't keep this inside anymore. Every time I blink, I see the school hallway stretching before me, Ethan's face floating at the edge of the dark. That same quiet smile that used to look shy but now just looks wrong. Maybe this confession will make him stop. Maybe he just wants someone to remember. But if you've listened this far, if you're hearing my voice right now, then it's already too late for you to. He finds the ones who know. He finds the ones who remember. Tonight, I keep hearing the sound again, 3 soft knocks from somewhere in the house. I checked every door. None of them made the sound. It's coming from the closet. No, not the closet. It's metal. It's cold. It's a locker. If you ever find an old locker with chipped paint and a number that reads 312, don't touch it. Don't listen when it knocks, because once you hear it, you become part of the story. And Ethan never lets go. I can feel him now, behind me, breathing softly, waiting for me to finish. So I'll leave you with this. If you think you're safe, if you believe you can turn off the screen and walk away, you're wrong. He's patient. He's everywhere that guilt lives. And if you want to see what happens next, if you truly dare click the next story, it's not a video. It's a warning, and it's already waiting for you.